Hi there, this is Mike Skrypnek, CEO and founder of Grow, Get, Give Coaching. Welcome to Monday Madness. The topic today is strategy in the absence of certainty and planning for the unpredictable. No one was prepared. No one was prepared for the sudden onset and global blanketing of the pandemic. Yes, of course, there were manuals for it and protocols. There were even mass inventories of supplies on hand, but the onset and quick spread took everyone by surprise. Early on, decision making was inadequate, and leadership actions, even to this day, were withheld for political or personal reasons. Soon enough, though, support was being rolled out, necessary scientific and epidemiological specialists got to work. Sensibility, of course, is the default of the majority, but the acts of a few can cause huge challenging when controlling the virus. And that unpredictability gives us challenge. I mean, 5 months in, your business is most likely in some way back to functioning, but no one suggests fully functioning or as usual. Your now normal instead of new normal is different than before, but it is something. Now, there's occasional dysfunction and chaos, confusion, concern, and then, of course, there's the familiar normalities that actually creep in unexpectedly, where they were business as usual last year. So what's next? I've noticed a number of entrepreneurs have been driving and thriving with the hand they were dealt, or we were all dealt. But short-term responses are not the solutions needed to continue and grow a business. Now we are looking beyond 2020 and looking to see if we're still on track for our 3-year or 5-year or even our last 1-year plan and what the next 1, 3, and 5 years might look like. There's been a lot of shifts or pivots made, but are these your new business model? Will the old model be ever be back? And is the new initiative that you took to get through this an add-on, or is it now a dominant role? And what about the kids? Like, what about kids in schools? Threats of a step back or closures and increased restrictions. These things are all challenges we face. And of course, will your bank, your landlord, the tax man, will they all still play ball if you need a longer runway? Will you get it? So these are some of the questions on the minds of a lot of people who are planning for the future. And I know it's created a new stress in this moment. There's a time here that we're sitting in where we had this big flourish of activity. Now we're kind of waiting and trying to figure out our next steps. And I know even some of my clients have been managing that or dealing with that. And you need objective input from someone outside of your business or industry or in your network who can share their ideas with you. So here's some basic rules that I think you should find helpful, and you will find helpful in trying to plot out your next plan, the next strategy for going forward. And it's a little different and a little different priority order than typical. So number one, of course, take care of your people. Build a plan to improve the culture in your business. This is a time when people need community, a sense of belonging. They need to be heard. They need to be felt like they've been heard. So culture trumps strategy every single day. Number two, what do you want? With a chance to think, with some time in between now and the next rush in the fall, what do you want your business to be? Is this still the same plan that you set forth in 2019, or has it changed? And maybe your perspective is different today than it was before. What is your strategy to reach your goals? Number three, what's your strategy to reach your goals? Maybe the new online marketing or offering that you've added is actually better than the old one. Or is it possible that maybe it's not? And what are you going to stick with, or what are you going to evolve to? What's your plan, and what's the strategy you have to reach the goals that you set out in the past, and how you're resetting those goals today? And lastly, how will you measure success? A lot of entrepreneurs have taken steps to increase their diversity or the inclusion in their workplaces, and that mindfulness has become a daily practice, and it was important as reviewing sales and KPIs. So getting back to mindfulness, considering your employees, considering more sensible and more personal issues may actually be another measure of success beyond your typical sales and revenue and KPI measurements that you do. So wherever you find yourself in this cycle, if you're at a crossroads between today's new normal and planning for the future, relax. Don't stress that which you can't control. Plan for it and plan for the worst, but hope for the best. Don't try to mitigate it. Don't try to manage it. Things that are beyond your control are things you can prepare for, but don't get caught up in worrying about them every day. Plan to execute all that you can control. Make your own destiny and be the author of your own success story. I'm giving you a peer group to mingle with every Wednesday morning at 7:30 a.m. Pacific time. That's 10:30 Eastern. So I'm having breakfast with you out here on the West Coast, Mountain and Central, and maybe I'm just having coffee with you at Eastern time for the 10:30 group. It'll be more like a coffee break, right? So my friends, we could talk about how the week is going. You can speak with peers. This is for mid-career entrepreneur owners. And maybe there are world events to discuss, maybe business challenges, maybe opportunities, but whatever you have going on, we'll get you through the hump day, right? You never know who you'll meet there, but I'll be there as well to share every Wednesday, 7:30 a.m. Pacific. There's no agenda, no obligations, just an open weekly discussion for everyone navigating these times. If you're a business owner and would like to enjoy the company of others, please join me for breakfast. You'll need to sign up and get the Zoom call details in advance. I do post them in advance, but please go to my contact form on my website and enter breakfast with Mike, or simply email me at info@mikeskrypnek.com. Anyways, if I see you Wednesday, fantastic. Otherwise, remember, take care of your people, figure out what you want, figure out your strategy to reach your goals, and define how you're going to measure your future success. So again, Mike Skrypnek, CEO and founder of Grow, Get, Give Coaching, and I will catch you tomorrow.